Let's go.
And we're right back at you, Steeler Nation. Jump on over from the Smash the Gas podcast to the Pump Your Brakes podcast. We're going high speed chasing over there. Now we over here, we're going to slow it down a little bit and talk more specifically individually about some of these players that we're expecting to contribute this year, be first year contributors, be taking a second year jump, and quite frankly, some year players that were drafted last year didn't play that much at all last year. So got a whole bunch of new guys that people aren't talking about. But when you join Pump Your Brakes on the Steel Curtain Network, we're gonna let you know about everything we can let you know about. So, like I said, we're back. We just finished Smash the Gas. So I'm back with the triple OG Shannon White on the show. Triple OG. Shannon, what's up, man?
Fine.
You got caught myself that time. They were just filled in on Smash the Gas for Brother Big-G, and we had a good conversation and good communication with the community, and looking forward to another one here on Pump Your Brakes.
No doubt, no doubt. And joining us from the Smash the Gas podcast and the Black and Gold Standard podcast, we got the quadruple OG. See, he came in and jumped Shannon because he's a little bit older than Shannon. So that's how we go. That's how we pull rank around here. It goes from the oldest to the youngest. So, even though on this show I introduced Shannon first, this is his show. Curb, last show I think I introduced Curb first.
Yep.
But yeah, fellas, so thank both of you for filling in for Big G now, because you both have done it. Curb, you're starting it. Shannon, you did it. But we appreciate it. The big homie will be back next week on this show. You may see him sometime this weekend somewhere out there in them podcast streets. You know Big G. But he should definitely be back with us on Pump Your Brakes next Wednesday and Smash the Gas. So, Curb, what's up with you, man? We just had a good discussion over there on Smash the Gas. Hey, Fee, what's happening? Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. 901, my boy Reg Rivers in the building. Shout out to you, Jay's Upper Teeth. Everybody out there rocking with us, we appreciate you. Curb, go ahead, man. I keep cutting you off, but important live chatters keep jumping in. Curb, they more important than you, man.
Yeah, I see. That's all right. No, I'm doing good. Just ready to, get the show started, and let's talk some Steelers football.
Gonna talk to Steelers football, definitely. I don't know. I said in the last show to ask you guys, did you see? I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on it. You seen the All-Star game last night, Major League Baseball All-Star game. Great game. I actually ended 6-6. They had a new thing because they don't do extra innings in the All-Star game. Everybody was down for their last pitcher anyway. They have what's called no Diddy, a swing off, and that even don't sound right. MLB. I'm gonna need who is it? Bud Selig still? Is he the commissioner?
No.
It's what's his name? Help me out.
I don't know his name.
How can you tell me no? You can't tell me who it is.
I know it ain't Bud. I think Bud pushing up daisies, I think.
He may be, Kurt. Just tell me who it is.
I don't know.
But anyway, Commissioner, you need to think about giving that a name change, or you gonna get no Diddy all the time for every year. And at least when they go to extra innings, when it's a tight game, you're gonna get a no Diddy. So think about changing that name. Shout out some of the folks in the live chat that's rocking with us already. Robert in the building, he was on Smash the Gas. Luke Cage, the homie Luke, what's up, man? Dre Green, Steeler Girl, 277. Luke Cage, 777. We said Luke, but the 777 got me wanting Steeler Girl and Luke. Y'all like married on YouTube or something? Y'all got the same last name. Just curious. Asking for a friend. Mark Stewart in the building, per usual. What up, Mark? Val Ford, shout out. Thanks for joining us. Let's see who else. Joseph. Is it missing the Jovic? missing the Jovic. I'm sure I'm jacking that up. Big G's not here to jack up names, so that's in honor of Big G, man. My bad for butchering it. I'm sure I probably did. Jay's upper teeth in the building. Craig Werlow in the building. Craig asked, did you guys see FS1 already got rid of? Yeah, I saw that, man. That was like big news on Monday, man. Them shows wasn't that good at all, so I understand when they got rid of them, but they got rid of them quick. I think they was showing like reruns of Big Poppy and Derek Jeter and them from the Major League Baseball, All-Star weekend or nights the night before. They said, y'all got to go now. Like, they didn't say, take the last week, we're going to cancel you next week. Y'all got to go today, and it's Monday, and we're going to figure out for the rest of the week. So, yeah, gone. Joy Taylor. I liked Emmanuel Acho, but he can come across kind of arrogant quite a bit. But the football players were on there weren't really good, but we won't miss anything. They kept Colin Coward, who's a Steeler hater. Shout out Colin Coward. You kept your job. You are good at what you do. Just stop hating on Pittsburgh, though, man. And they got rid of Speak. They got rid of the facility and the Craig Carton show. That's the one first thing in the morning. So, yeah, I see why they got rid of them. They're doing a whole new shakeup. They say that Tony Reale and Max Kellerman and K Adams may form some type of show with those guys. So that should be interesting, but we'll see. But, fellas, we caught up with everybody in the live chat, said black and gold standard. Kirby, you here working? Get off your phone, man. You know that's a workplace policy. Get off your phone.
I typed that in.
Oh. Thank you, man, for the answer. Let me messing with you. Keyshawn was going to speak. Keyshawn and Paul Pierce and Joy Taylor. They were the speak crew. Shout out Big Pun. But, yeah, fellas, so we're going to go ahead and cut to break. If you're watching on YouTube, stay with us. Get them algorithms up. Get them thumbs up. Go ahead and give us a like. Give us a subscribe. Though most of the people that are here most weeks are Steeler fans that are already subscribers, but thanks for rocking with us. But if you haven't subscribed, if you haven't hit the thumbs up, let's do that right now while we go to break. If you're watching on YouTube, we're not going anywhere. You know how we do. We're going to take a quick 10, 15 seconds of silence on this side. But if you listen to the audio platform, we have to hear a few words from our partners and advertisers, and we'll be right back after this. Thank you guys for rocking with us on another episode of Pump Your Brakes, and we'll be right back. And we're back on the Pump Your Brakes podcast. I'm your boy Tate in the building with the homie Shannon and the homie Kurt. And what we're going to talk about tonight is them players that everybody else not talking about. Steeler Nation, we know about them. We drafted them. We acquired them. We're expecting big things from them. I think this is a core that's going to be part of the new Steeler culture going forward. I think all these are good, high-quality, high-character guys, football players we got in the building. We're going to start out by talking about the offensive side of the ball with Roman Wilson first. We'll go Roman Wilson first. Shannon, Roman Wilson was drafted in 2024, didn't play much last year because of the injury he suffered, I believe, like the first or second day of training camp last year. So, and he was hurt, and he never really got on the field. A lot of speculation and talk that I don't know how true it was. He didn't get the playbook, and I think he just was never 100%. And by the time he probably was 100%, week 11, week 12, like he had already missed enough of the season. They didn't just want to go to him like full go at that point. So, but we're hearing a lot about him this offseason. I've word on the street is he's looking good. He's been working through all that time, kind of like Calvin Austin. His first year, he missed his entire first season with an injury, came back the second year, and wasn't ready to go. He improved last year, his third year again. But what are we expecting from Roman Wilson, Shannon? What do you like about him? What do you see potentially ahead that he can contribute?
I think one thing we got to realize, if you look at that graphic, there's 7 guys, and only one of them have we really seen play any extended snaps, and that's Peyton Wilson. So it's almost like 2 draft classes coming in this year. So it's a huge influx of talent. And I think that's one of the reasons that people may be underestimating this Steelers squad this year, this roster. I was told after the hangover that we were being a little too positive. Well, one, I don't ever see a reason to be invertly or overly negative. It doesn't accomplish anything. We're going to look at any positive possibilities, and we're going to hope and pray for the best, and then deal with the rest. I think Roman Wilson was going to be part of their plans last year before the injury. So now you're getting a guy who I believe can contribute this year, who's only had another year of development as you know, getting closer to his physical prime. He's put on a little weight. He's cutting a little better. He realizes the speed of the game a little more, the complexities, how to prepare. Little things you learn during your rookie year, he still learned them. He didn't learn a lot on the field, but he learned a lot of the mental aspect of preparation, what you have to do to stay in shape and be prepared. And I expect him to be a real contributor this year. And I think by later in the year, there's a good chance he's starting wide receiver too. Because he can block. He did a lot of blocking in Michigan. He's 4 inches taller and 30 pounds heavier than Austin. So if Austin had his measurables, Austin would be in line probably for a much bigger contract. But we also got to remember that Wilson runs a sub 4.4. So it ain't like he's slow. And I think he's going to bring a lot to the offense this year. And I'm expecting him to have a bigger first year than Austin did.
Okay. No, I agree with everything you say. Let's just throw in, because I think each one of these guys that we have on the screen that we're, set up to talk about, Roman Wilson, they're all high character guys. Roman Wilson was a captain at Michigan on a national championship winning team. He played under Jim Harbaugh, who, whether we like the Harbaughs or not, great coach, come from a great culture, tough, wrong blocking. He used to, from Hawaii, he used to live in Hawaii, and I believe he played high school football somewhere where practice stuff. He had to fly a plane too. So that's how dedicated he was. He was getting on a plane to go to football practice and go to workouts and stuff. His high school was, all the items over there was a little further from where he lived, and he flew to practice. He could have went to a school. He wanted to go to a football school. He wanted to be a football player. So he could have stayed on his own part of Hawaii, his own other part of Hawaii, and went to that school. But he wanted to go to a football school and play football. So I think he's a high character guy. Former team captain, played for Jim Harbaugh, won national championship, played for Blue Blood in Michigan. I'm expecting good things from him too, Shannon. Curb, what do you think, man?
I believe that. I think the same thing. I think actually out of that list you got there, he probably got more pressure on him than any of those guys, just for the fact of, like I say, I mean, we heard the reports, but I just remember when he got hurt, like the last time. I mean, you could just see, because you could see it in Mike Tomlin that he was like totally done with this guy. So I think right now, he has to just, come in and grind and keep working, and whatever that situation was last year, make sure he rectify that, and just do what he got to do. I mean, they draft him high, so the talent is there. Everybody's seen, what he done in college and everything. So I just think he just got to keep working, and he was in the workout things with when Rodgers had all those guys, in Malibu. So hopefully he and got his timing down with him and everything. And like I say, this is another person or another little matchup that you want to watch in training camp and and see what's going on with him. But I definitely expect him to have a way better year than what he had last year for sure.
Well, if he get 4 catches, he had a better year than he had last year.
Yeah. Well,
But
yeah.
then were you suggesting he was in the doghouse with
I
Tomlin?
think
and the
so
coach
because
staff?
if you go back, I mean, Mike Tomlin was like really irritated, like so whatever really happened. I don't know if it was just a situation where they saying he hurt again, or you heard some stuff about the playbook, but whatever it was,
Yeah, but
Tomlin was
Coach
really
Tomlin
irritated.
would never put that out there though. Not about a playbook or a player like that.
Oh, no,
He
he
wouldn't
didn't
do
say,
that.
but you could just tell when he was brought up in the press conference, he was irritated
I think
about that him being out again.
I think that's just how the coaching staff and Coach Tomlin rolls. You're not there until you're there. And he was never
Yep.
there. So
Yep.
and that's how he is with rookies and stuff like that, I believe. Yeah, so like I said, I think he's gonna be a plus guy. We had in the live chat, Big Pun said they're all question marks. They all are question marks. They're also all draft picks and very good collegiate football players. So, we're not necessarily expecting a lot, but we think these guys can all be players. Maybe not all at once, maybe not all this year, but these are some future players on the Pittsburgh Steelers football team, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
The next guy up, Kurt, will come to you. They drafted this year with their 3rd round pick, I believe, pick 83. The 3rd round, we'd have a 2nd round pick. That's DK Metcalf. Is running back out of Iowa. Caleb Johnson, CJ, led the Big Ten in rushing last year and rushing touchdowns. Iowa was a good team last year. Mainly, he carried the offense. There really were a run-centric offense. Played under coach. Tell me Iowa's coach, man. I'm about to say Hayden Fry. I know that ain't his.
No. I'm looking right at his. I mean,
I can see his face too. Shannon, you don't know Iowa's coach's name? Live chatting though. But yeah, that guy. Anyway, Iowa's a good program. We got a couple players from Iowa this year, include him. So, Kurt, what are you thinking about Caleb Johnson and what he can bring to the offense?
Well, with him, it's like with any rookie running back. I mean, as far as seeing the hole and running through the hole, he can do that. It's going to come down to his blocking.
Kirk Ferentz.
Kirk Ferentz, yep. This is going to come down to his blocking. I mean, that's a lot of times would really dictate how quick a young back, especially if you want him to be a 3-down back, or it's just a matter of getting his blocking down, because if he gets in there and he gets Aaron Rodgers blasted, he might not see the field again. So I think other than that, they probably start him off slow. I mean, that's just typical Steelers. I mean, even though they put Harris in there day one, I think they probably kind of start him off slow and let Warren, he probably start off as a starting back, but eventually I think they want Warren to go into that role as being the 3rd down back and let Johnson kind of be the workhorse a little bit. So it's just like I say, to me, and again, if you go to training camp, you want to watch back on backers, because that's going to be, I'm quite sure Tomlin going to have him front and center a lot. So, that'll be some exciting to see, and you get to, kind of see where he's at.
Well, and that's how Jalen Warren got so good at pass blocking. Yep. He was pushed out there into the world of what's the drill called? Backs on backers.
Yeah,
pushed out there in the backs on backers. Shannon, your thoughts on Caleb Johnson? He was also a captain at Iowa too. Like I said, led their offense really. What's your thoughts on him, Shannon?
Again, I expect big things from him. I I think it's Caleb with a K. I think it's KJ, right? Is he's what they call him? Yeah, I mean, the difference is he's kind of Le'Veon Bell-like in his patience and his vision. He's really good at outside zone, but he has that extra gear like Derrick Henry has, something that Najee Harris never had. And when he can build up speed, he can hit that extra gear and pull away from a lot of guys. So I expect some bigger chuck plays, longer runs. He's a very solid build. I think he's like 6'1", 225. Very lean, ripped up, has some power, can push the pile. So I'm expecting him. He's a thoroughbred in that backfield. I mean, I love Warren. Warren is all heart. He's a muscle hamster, but he's just smaller. And he's a really good number 2. And then Gainwell is an excellent number 3, third down back, punt returner. He can do it all. So, but I think Caleb Johnson is the thoroughbred in the backfield, and I expect him to just get more and more carries as the year goes on.
So, like we alluded to with Roman Wilson, because of a comment, all these guys are question marks, but we can have expectation. It sounds like Shannon got the first 2 guys eventually working their way into the starting lineup this year.
I do, yes.
Roman Wilson and Caleb Johnson. Hey, I would love to see that happen. I think has great potential to be able to happen. So, yeah, my thoughts on Caleb Johnson. I think he fits Arthur Smith's scheme better. That zone running scheme they zone run block at Iowa. Iowa's traditionally known for having great offensive lines. Not necessarily all first rounders, but because they're well coached, the technique and big boys out there in the Midwest, in the cornfields and stuff like that. Them boys learn how to play. They get drafted. They only get drafted. Iowa puts linemen and tight ends in the league. So I think he's real big on his relationship with his offensive linemen. So he's been hanging out with those guys already and stuff like that, developing rapport and relationship with them. I think that's important in a running back offensive line relationship. Get to know each other, get a feel for the game, and they know you, they know what you might like to do in certain schemes and certain play calls and stuff like that. So I think that's a huge component. He's from Ohio. That makes him tougher than most right there by himself. Played at Cincinnati Christian, I believe. When I was way back when I was in school, Cincinnati Christian was one of the top football teams in the state. They were in our division. We used to play them every year. My high school has since changed divisions and stuff like that, so it's not the same. But he's from that high school and played for Kirk Ferentz, leaned on the run game, and I think he can come be a major contributor from day one. I agree with Shannon. I think initially up until the bye week. When the bye week's over, they get back from Ireland. They had that bye week. Game 5, he's going to be your number 1 running back. That's my prediction. And Jaylen Warren will have an incredible role. You won't phase him out. It'll just save him for those explosives, those splash plays and stuff we're used to. Jaylen Warren is one of 3 running backs in NFL history. I can tell you about Jaylen Warren. Can't tell you about everybody else, the other 2. But to average 5 yards a touch for his entire first 3 seasons. So Jaylen Warren is a highly effective, efficient, explosive running back. So, man, he's a triple E. Efficient, effective, and explosive. There, I came up with something right there, a nickname, Triple E, Jaylen Warren. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to watching these guys play, Roman Wilson and Caleb Johnson. The next player on our list, Kirk, another offensive player, that would be one Troy Fautanu.
You got a super chat.
Okay, let's take the super chat first. I wonder where the homie was at. Claude in the building. Thanks for the $5, Claude. Claude says Najee was a great pass catcher, and I hear that Johnson isn't. Put some more respect on CA3's name, gentlemen. We all fans of CA3, Claude, and if he's CA3 as in third receiver, he's gonna be great. You know, he can survive as a number 2 for a little bit, but I don't think you build Arthur Smith's offense around a 5'8", 175-pound guy. So that's my retort to the Calvin Austin third. Najee was a great pass blocker and pass catcher. And I don't think we know Caleb Johnson can't do it. I would then do it. I would then throw the football. I would ran the football. So don't say that he can't. He has it, but we'll see what he can do. And I believe that he can. Catching the football is just part of the game. So, Shannon, we're going to thanks for this super chat, Claude. Once again, per usual, you say something that get us worked up, Claude. But, Shannon, Troy Fontano, he's coming back this year. Played, I believe, like maybe 2 games last year. Played against Denver, was looking good. We've talked about this before in the big scheme of things coming out of last year's draft. He was like the 5th tackle taken, I believe, in the draft. But if you watch that combine, we knew the Steelers were potentially thinking offensive line last year as well. And I mean, outside of, can't remember who was the first one to go last year. It was a dude for the Chargers that went to Notre Dame.
Yeah, his last name's Alt.
Yeah, Joe Alt's son. Yeah. Outside of him, I thought Fontana was just as good as anybody else that went before him. And if you watch the combine, 22-4 combine, offensive line drills and all that stuff, he was by far the best lineman as far as being technically sound and moving his feet, going through the drills, hand placement, all that stuff. He was about as close to perfect as you can get in those drills and those things the scouts were looking at. Shannon, what are your thoughts on Troy Fontana and what can he do for the Pittsburgh Steelers offense this year?
Well, as you say, Troy Fontana is the most athletically gifted of all the tackles in the first round last year. He moves better. He has sweet feet. He slides, moves well. The difference is he's 6'4". Well, the guys we're talking about that went ahead of him are 6'7", 6'8". He has longer arms than his height. He has long arms for 6'4", but still shorter than guys that are 6'7", 6'8". So some offensive line, he was highly ranked on everybody's board. But some teams even looked at him as moving to guard later in his career, which I think could happen. But right now, he's going to be right tackle. And I think he's going to be a huge upgrade from Roderick Jones because Roderick Jones is a natural left tackle. And some guys just can't make that adjustment that effectively or efficiently. I think Troy Fontana can play either side, but they're going to start out with him on the right side. And then Roderick Jones hopefully will flourish in his natural left tackle spot. But yeah, Fontana is the key moving forward. Him and Frazier, I think the Steelers have perennial Pro Bowl guys in those 2 guys we're going to see. And then you could piece the line in other places. As we know, the Steelers did when they had Pouncey and DeCastro, and then they found, they got a bargain basement deal with Ramon Foster. They'd have different guys that tackle, but
undrafted free agent,
exactly. Yeah.
Ramon Foster and Villanueva.
And Villanueva, exactly. So, but the Steelers have a high pick invested in Roderick Jones. They've got a 4th round pick in McCormick, who really exceeded expectations last year. So I think the Steelers offensive line is set up to make a huge step forward these next 2 to 3 years.
Mm-hmm. I completely agree. Want to address Steeler Girl's comment. She says not still related, but her little grandson. You have a grandson, Steeler Girl. Your YouTube picture don't look like you old enough to have a grandson.
Mm-mm.
But it's having a bone marrow transplant tomorrow. So if you pray, please send up one for Braxton, if you would. We definitely will.
Mm-hmm.
Steeler Girl, we appreciate you. I know I can speak for Shannon and myself. I'm sure Curb too, but Shannon is a man of God, man of prayer. So he got he got a direct contact line with the man upstairs. So we're gonna put Shannon making that call, and the rest of us gonna do what we can do. But yeah, shout out to Braxton. We're rooting for you, Braxton. You're gonna get through this tomorrow, man, and come out on the other side. Everything's gonna be okay. So everybody out there in Steeler Nation, pray for the little homie Braxton. We certainly are rooting for him, and everything will be okay. So yeah, I wanted to address that comment. Back to the offensive line, Troy Fautanu. Curve, your thoughts real quick on Troy Fautanu, man.
The only thing, health. Just got to, hopefully he can stay healthy. Coming into the draft, he had little injury concerns, and I guess you could say it jumped up and bit him a little bit. But if he can stay healthy, he's probably the Steelers' best offensive lineman, and that's saying that off looking at a guy that only played a few snaps, but I think he has that type of talent. So just to stay healthy.
That part, man, I completely agree with you. Well, I already gave my take. He's probably the most polished lineman coming out. He didn't have the best physical traits because he's kind of like 6'3". Probably he played great tackle in college, probably a Pro Bowl tackle, but definitely could be an All-Pro guard. With his versatility and footwork and quickness on the inside, and his ability to, if you want him to pull and get out front of things and stuff like that, he has his probably best position will be guard if he transitions to that. So I definitely like the potential of that. I mean, we can look forward in the future to Jalen Ramsey being our free safety and Troy Fautanu being our guard. So we'll definitely talk about that in the future. But right now, fellas, we got through the offensive contributors we expecting to take jumps up. No Diddy on that one for myself. But what we're gonna do is take a quick break, and we're gonna jump back in here and talk about the defensive side of the ball, some new faces joining us in new places that we think can be contributors. So if you're watching on YouTube, stay with us. We're not going anywhere. If you listen on an audio platform, we have to hear a few words from our partners and advertisers. We'll be right back after this. Stay with us, please. And we're back on the Pump Your Brakes podcast, talking about these Steelers that nobody else is talking about. The national media has this narrative, what is the Steelers doing? I know what they're doing. They're going all in on these old guys. We've talked about this narrative before. The Steelers are not going all in. They have 12 draft picks next year and the third most amount of potential cap space going into next year. That is not going all in. You got 12 draft picks. I mean, you got future capital next year. You sign TJ Watt, you're gonna open up a little bit more of that. That number is going to go higher than what it would be as of right now. So yeah, I'm looking forward to next year, and I'm looking forward to competing this year. And part of competing is getting some of these young guys in there that are kind of mature enough to be contributors right now in the Steelers system. Not necessarily starters, or starters in the future perhaps, but right now can be contributors, can be bodies and football players you can put out there and have some type of expectation for they can contribute. Not superstars, not stars, not rookies of the years, any of these guys, but can be major contributors. So, Curve, the first guy we're going to talk about on the defensive side of the ball, I believe, was the Steelers' 5th round pick, Y.A. Black, again out of Iowa. This is 2 years in a row we drafted defensive line out of Iowa. Last year we got Logan Lee. This year we got Y.A. Black. Big kid, like 6'7", 330 pounds or something like that. True nose. I believe athletic enough to play one of the ends, maybe 5 technique if in a pinch if you want him to. In big packages anyway. But high character guy, I believe was like second team all Big Ten last year, maybe. I could be wrong on that one, but I feel like he was. Just as me being a Big Ten guy, I think I remember him maybe making it all Big Ten team. Could have been third team, maybe. But yeah, so man, I think we got a player. I mean, he has quality depth, if you ask me. Not expecting to go in there and start or anything like that. Quality depth, a run stopper is what he's best at. You saw how Baltimore bullied us around in the playoff game last year. So this is one of the guys we kind of needed. You guys were clamoring for. I remember all the pre-draft stuff. We got to take 2 D linemen. We got 2 D linemen. The one we took first, we're going to talk about last. We're going to talk about Y.A. Black right now. I'm going to go to Shannon. Shannon, tell us what you think about Y.A. Black, man.
Huge fan of both guys, Black and Harmon. 2 of the higher ranked defensive linemen, according to PFF, in college football last year. But Black, I think he's the nose tackle of the future. I think Benton is not developed like we had hoped because he's playing out of position. I believe he's going to be an end. He's going to be, we're going to have Harmon in one, Black in the middle, and Benton at the other defensive end.
That's a nice young defensive line, too.
Yeah, I think, and I got to say this. We was talking about the national media earlier. They were talking about this Steelers team's one of the older teams. No, they're not. They got a 41-year-old, almost 41-year-old quarterback. They got Hayward towards the end. They got Slay they brought in. They brought in, some of the guys they brought in are 30 and up. But you got to have experience in some of these positions. And they're 1-year rentals. This is not really an old team. The nucleus is young. And the nucleus will continue to build. Like these guys we're talking about, these 7 players are a big part of this Steeler future. So that narrative that the Steelers are suddenly an old team is not legit. But I fully expect Black, with his length, he's got very long arms. He's very stout. He ties up multiple blockers. He was one of the top guys last year getting double to triple team because they have to move him. And I believe that he can give you some snaps at end and also a nose tackle. And I expect him to be part of the rotation and a big part of the future moving forward. But he's going to be a nuisance even in the passing game while he develops as a pass rusher just because of his length. He's going to be one of them guys like when we was growing up. Ed Too Tall Jones, Ted Hendricks, the Man Stork, these guys with them long arms and all, they're hard to throw over. And it's going to give a lot of quarterbacks, especially the smaller quarterbacks, fits.
Yeah.
I completely agree, Shannon. The Mad Stork, a lot of these little whippersnappers won't remember, man. But you talk about Ted Hendricks played for the Raiders.
Yeah.
With this, that's because you might remember Curb. You might remember George Blanda. You might went to school with George Blanda.
That's a little bit way for my
That's a little before him, yeah.
But no, go ahead, Curb. What you think about Y.A. Black, man?
I agree with Shannon. He's going to be a rotation guy. Short, goal line. He'd probably get in on that. And actually, it's going to be I want to go back to camp. This is going to be a good test for Frazier to be going up against a guy, a big guy like that and getting his hands down so it's a good deal. But I think as far as him playing, he's going to be a rotation guy, and I think he probably get in on goal line and short yardage, that type of stuff. But and then I also agree with Shannon said as far as in the future, I could see him being that starting nose tackle. But I think for right now, he'll just be a rotation guy, which is good.
Mark says, watch Alan Sanders' white chalk. talk. I do watch Steelers now. I guess that's the morning rush. He had the whiteboard out earlier this week, I believe. No, he's out this week. It was last Friday, I believe. He was talking about some defensive schemes and stuff. I have to go back and check it out, Mark, but I did look at a little bit of the one I'm talking about anyway.
Got another super chat.
Super chat from the homie Claude. We ain't called him Mr. Matrix yet, but I know he's working on something. Kirk, go ahead and read the chat, man. I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna wait and see with a mindful ear to see if this is Matrix worthy.
Would you be happy with just one playoff win this year, and is Myers and Terrell Austin on the hot seat? This is the offensive line coach. Okay.
Yeah, good question, Claude. Not Matrix worthy. Yeah, I think they have to be because we're expecting development from the offensive line. These are his guys now. I believe this is like he going into his 4th year because he was there the last year in Canada or last 2 years in Canada, and these first 2 years with Arthur Smith. So I think he's going to his 4th year. So these are his guys now. He's been there ever since Broderick Jones was a rookie. I don't think he made a decision to move him to right tackle. I think that was a head coaching decision. Thinking Broderick Jones could switch to left and we could use Dan Moore because he could only – Broderick Jones could move to right and we could use Dan Moore at left because he could only play left, self-admittedly. And that turned into a disaster. Dan Moore was a 4th-round pick. He shouldn't get preference over where a 1st-round pick is going to play. We should have put Broderick Jones there and, excuse my language, Dan Moore have to shit or get off the pot, in my opinion. Because that kind of set Broderick Jones back a little bit, I believe. And now, we say this is a big year for him, but it is a big year for him. But it's a big year because of how they initially started him out. But yeah, so I think TA is on the hot seat. TA got to have his defense. Him and Tomlin both, but Tomlin was the coach too when Dick LeBeau and Keith Butler were doing good and leading the league in blitzing and stuff like that. And it was even good with TA the year they had Brian Flores. I think TA is not really good at the rush packages, the blitz scheme and stuff like that. Great on the back end. Maybe we need to get a defensive what do you call the guy? What was Flores' position when he was here? Consultant. They may need to get a defensive consultant to work with that front 7, or maybe they got somebody that's doing it now.
They just need a pass rush coordinator.
Yeah.
You can have a specialist. Keith Butler was the pass rush specialist. More than Dick LeBeau was,
Right. I'm only saying that Brian Flores' position title was consultant. So get a pass rush coordinator. Then that works for me. Just somebody to spice it. I think they're going to try and do that this year. But it's a lot on TA. TA need to have his defense with the talent it has. Everybody healthy. They need to be a top 5 unit. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Top 5. So that should be his. That should be the floor. The floor for TA's defense, provided everybody's healthy. These new additions, the amount of money spent on defense. We got an offense that should be able to give you a break and keep you off the field a little bit. So I'm expecting bigger things from the defense and Terrell Austin. Another super chat from the homie Jay's Upper Teeth. Watch Black's highlight. He can move for his size. Jay's Upper Teeth, thanks for the $2. You preaching to the choir, man. But yeah, you're absolutely right. He looked good in that black and gold too. So watch his highlights. Watch him at Iowa. I'm Big Ten football all day, man. I'll let these guys, Shannon and Curb, deal with is it ACC for West Virginia?
SEC, Big 12, yeah.
Oh no, West Virginia, the Big 12 now.
Big 12, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Curb, who your college team of choice?
Well, and this is more of a family thing. I like. I'm an Alabama.
Oh yeah.
So
you
SEC. I guess you could say.
Okay. Yeah. No. The SEC was dominant for a while. For 6-7 years ago. Way before that. For the 10 years prior to that. But
Mhm.
past 5 years, I think people have caught up, especially with Alabama. Georgia kind of been elevated again, but Alabama they've been caught up too. But no, great team, no great players come from there. Okay, let's keep it moving. The next defensive player we're gonna talk about, another Big Ten guy. I can keep saying Big Ten guy. I mean, so far everybody we talked about is Big Ten. Everybody. Roman Wilson, Caleb
Not
Johnson,
Fontano.
Fautanu played for Washington the first year there in the Big Ten. Yes, yes.
Well, that's true.
Yes, yes. Y.A. Black and now Jack Sawyer. Herb, I'll go to you first on Jack Sawyer, man. When you think about that draft pick, I believe he was 4th round, pick 125. There were some receivers on the board we could have took, but the Steelers, again, like we said in the earlier episode, to smash the gas, Shannon's deduction, and I don't know that I disagree with him. Maybe they're not worried about wide receiver now, but they got, I think, an edge of the future or somebody that can contribute right now. What do you think, Kurt?
Well, again, he'll be a rotation guy. To keep. I'm assuming he'll probably be on the side of Highsmith, so he'll be able to take some snaps when he comes out for a rest. And let's be honest, Highsmith, he usually miss 1 or 2 games a year. So
I think he's on the side of TJ because
so
it can be on either side because
you got Herbert
I think
over there.
I think when either TJ or Highsmith need a breather and it's a rundown, he's the guy you put in on rundowns to replace one of them guys.
Guy.
Yeah. And Herbert, if one of those guys are tired on the pass down and they need a breather, you're going to bring Herbert in to replace that guy, whether it be Watt or Highsmith. One subbing for pass rush, one subbing for run stop.
Mm.
But go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to interject that.
Again, I just think he's going to be a rotation guy, a depth guy, but eventually this might be a role that he can fill full time. But I think he's probably a little ways from that right now. But and I don't know if he's going, because he's a pretty big guy. So I don't know. He may be on special teams, maybe. I don't know about that, but he's like I say, at this point right now, he's just gonna be a guy that's gonna fill in and give those guys a break.
Agreed, but again, similar to Blue Blood program, 2-year captain at Ohio State, made the big play that sent them to the national championship against Texas in the Final Four. Strip sack Quinn Ewers, ran it for like a 90-yard touchdown. He grew up in Columbus, been a Buckeye his whole life. His whole dream was to go to Ohio State. Happy to be in Pittsburgh, to be playing with T.J. Watt, learning from T.J. Watt, hopefully soon, and playing under Coach Tomlin and the defensive culture. He's a Steeler guy, I think, man. But I'm going to go ahead and let Shannon elaborate more, because I know he's probably going to make some points similar to where I was going. But go ahead, Shannon.
Oh, huge Jack Sawyer fan. I think that I know there was some receivers out there, but I don't know if there was any receivers that has the long-term potential that Sawyer's has. I think he's perfect for this defense. I think his leadership, his character, his intensity, he's a mean dude. He is not a gentle linebacker. And there's going to be a lot of guys learn the hard way. He's going to bring it every play. And, he's not, I remember saying the same thing about T.J. Watt when he was drafted. And we've seen what he has become. I think Sawyer is going to end up being a starter for this team. Not this year, of course, but hey, what better place to be than Pittsburgh with the legacy of outside linebackers and edge guys? You're playing behind T.J. Watt and Alex Highsmith. Your running mate is Nick Herbig, who's a pass rush. That guy's first step is unbelievable. And Sawyer sets a great edge already. He is very strong. So I think he's going to come in and set the edge immediately. As you say, use him on rundowns when you need to give a guy a break. But he can also rush the passer. And because he's relentless. He's one of them guys that will get a lot of them delayed sacks. especially if they're playing more press coverage and taking away those easy throws. You give him that little half step, half a second. A lot of these guys is going to get sacks instead of pressures this year. But I think Sawyer's going to be a key component in the rotation, just like I think about Black as well. I think we're underestimating the impact that these young defenders are going to have this year.
I agree. Your thoughts, Curb, on Sawyer?
No, like I said again, I think he's going to be a rotational guy, and he got two great guys to learn from, and like I said, I think he's probably going to be more Highsmith backup, and Highsmith, he's a great edge setter. So
yep.
you know that he's going to learn from a great guy. Sit there and watch him, and eventually, this may be a role that he can take over down the road. You never know.
That's true, Rob. He's certainly in trouble, Quinshawn Judkins, for the Browns. I mean, the story's not done yet. It's not been through court, but second guy from Ohio State that went to the Browns that has got in trouble. Last year was Mike Hall. This year is Judkins. We'll see what happens. Shador Sands was speeding. Not the worst thing in the world. Not like domestic violence, but man, you go to Cleveland, you just get in trouble, man.
You look at not changing the subject from the Browns, but
no, go ahead. We're done with the Browns.
If you look at Highsmith and you look at Sawyer, look at the character of these two young men. Look at the leadership. Look at the off the field, the everything they do. This is getting back to Steeler football, in my opinion. We're moving away from all these young men, as you said earlier, Tate. These are leaders, captains of their team, and it's an obvious that they've fully committed to move away from some of the character questions and me first guys and worrying about their brand to guys that are going to buy in. That a lot of these young men have championship pedigrees. It might have just been the conference in college championship, but they do have a history of winning, and that's contagious. If you have guys come in and that have a bad attitude and don't put in the right attitude, it's like one bad apple can run the whole bunch. Well, the opposite is true too. These guys can be leaders and inspirations to their teammates.
I agree with you completely, but I do know Najee and George Pickens, those guys came from Alabama and Georgia. I think the difference is with these guys, the Steelers aren't swinging for the fence and taking chances on character issues. They're hitting singles and doubles and scoring runs with the collective. You know what I mean? So you bring all these good guys in, it's going to build the culture up, it's going to raise the floor, and it's going to encourage other guys, compete with other guys, not be selfish, and it permeates the whole room, just like bad character does, like you're saying.
Also that you got to have talent.
You do have that.
Najee Harris was a great quality individual. I like Harris, the individual. It's just, the talent, like we said, he didn't have that extra gear. He didn't have the vision. Then you talk about Pickens. Now, he had all the talent in the world, but he didn't have any character. And these guys, so you have to have the complete package. But, until they prove it on the field, we don't know for sure. But based on their college experience and based on what we do know at this point, all these guys have the combination of talent and character.
This is not really Steelers related. But did you notice that 30 out of the 32 second-round draft picks are not signed?
Because of the guaranteed money.
Yeah, I heard about the guaranteed money.
And the Browns are in the middle. And the Browns are in the middle of that too.
Well, yeah, they always messing up the second round draft pick market. They messed up the quarterback market. They messed up the defensive edge market. They ain't gonna be done. They great pay. They kicker probably $20 million a year next. And Boswell going to be one to get paid 22. Watch. Mark my words.
Hey, Tate. And Stewart's like, I'd just rather go back to college and play for the Bengals.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, if they change the language of this contract, which to me is not fair to him because they just changed it this year. I mean, I wouldn't want to risk if I get a speeding ticket like Shador Sanders, you take all my guaranteed money away, or you have the potential to. But I get it. I mean, I mean, it's a thing. The Bengals was dragging their feet doing it. Now they want to change it. I don't think they're wrong for changing it, but you don't make a change after you draft a player. You make the change after you draft sign this player. Then next year you already got on the books, and whoever you draft, they got to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
So, Mark Cunningham, fellas, do you guys think Wilson and Holcomb is a training camp battle, or is Wilson going to start for sure? Well, next up, the person we're going to talk about, we're going to be a little quicker on him because we got to get to Derek Harmon as the last contributor we're expecting big things from, or a lot of contributive things from. Peyton Wilson, Shannon, what do you think about Peyton Wilson? You got him penciled as a starter. What kind of year 2 jump are you expecting? What's he bring to the football field? And don't be long-winded and bloviating because we're short on time. Give us your quick and skinny on Peyton Wilson, best you can.
Short and sweet. Green dot, starting the inside linebacker. Phenomenal athlete, length, speed. He could do it all. He could cover. He can run with a lot of receivers, which he did last year. Chased them up the seam. And I mean, the guy is a natural leader, just like Holcomb. Both guys are natural green dot guys that can make pre-snap adjustments and reads, call out defensive alignments, and not lose anything, not lose their aggressiveness, and come off the snap a step slow. Patrick Queen cannot do that. Take the green dot away from Patrick Queen. Set him loose. He's a junkyard dog. Just tell him to get the ball. Sick him. Don't make him think, because then he's slow reaction. But you've already got Peyton Wilson, and you got Holcomb backing him up. Because I think Wilson is the starter. I think Holcomb will get better as the year goes on, and there's always going to be a little bit of a mental block to get over after having a severe knee injury like that. But I think that he will get back. And I think he's an excellent backup, and he should be the other green dot. And then, of course, you got Harrison, and I think they are very deep in the inside linebacker. But I expect Peyton Wilson to have a huge step forward this year.
Sir, real quick, Peyton Wilson.
Yeah, I agree. I think if he can handle it, he probably will be the green dot guy. I think if you line the Steelers up, every player up, and they race, he's definitely top 5. I mean, this kid can run, he can move. Yes. So it's gonna be a good thing with him. I think him and Holcomb, that I won't really say it's gonna be a camp battle, but they're gonna definitely, kind of rotate those guys a little bit, but he'll be the starter. And a lot of people don't really realize inside linebacker sometimes that's a big adjustment for young guys. I mean, you got some guys that come in and can handle it, but that's a big adjustment because
he played it well last year though. He played in college.
He did.
They moved him around. They put him on the edge. He was the defensive player of the year. He just only went to the 4th round because they took a gamble with his knee injury, and it held.
And he don't even know he has a knee injury.
Yeah.
Right.
We got to remember one thing, fellas. Luke Kuechly compared Peyton Wilson to him.
Yeah.
And we know how good Luke Kuechly was.
Luke Kuechly was one of the top linebackers of the 2000s, period.
Yep.
I think the only battle in the linebacker room to wrap the linebackers up and get the Derek Harmon was between Mark Robinson and Bruner. I think Peyton Wilson, Holcomb, Queen, and Harrison make it. And that's 4.
Yep. If he could play anything like he was in college, I think Robertson's in trouble. And I'm a big Robertson fan. Everybody knows that.
This is it for Robertson.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of his, but I just think he's hit his ceiling. And I think Bruner, it looks like he did in college, he has a higher ceiling.
I completely agree too with that assessment. Just because Robinson's going into his 4th season,
Yep.
he'll make big money. If you get Bruner on a rookie deal and start that 5th linebacker special teams player over, Bruner from a Big Ten school, special teams captain, character guy, dad played in the NFL. I mean, all those things that the Steelers like, that Coach Tomlin likes: pedigree, leadership, character. He knows the Steelers' dad was a Steeler. So, I mean, I think Mark Robinson could be in trouble, like you guys said.
Oh, yeah.
And shout out to the Quad Father in the building. I think they'll send Queen Mark on blitzes more this year. But the last player we're going to talk about real quick is the operative word. We know who he is, our 1st-round pick out of another Big Ten university, the University of Oregon. Came to the Big Ten the same year that Fontana did, so we're taking credit for these guys, but they really packed 12 players initially. But yeah, man, Derek Harmon. Curb, you first, man. What's your thoughts on Derek Harmon, man?
Well, I mean, they already named him a starter, so that's a huge thing there. So I mean, whatever he showed them in shorts and a jersey was enough for them to, that they made him a starter. The only thing I really don't like, and this don't really have nothing to do with him, I don't know about Benton playing in the middle, but we'll talk about that later. But I mean, he seems to be a great kid. Well, I won't call him a kid, but a great young man.
To you, kid, Kirby, he's a kid. You got kids older than Derek Harmon.
But a young man, and he went through this situation with his mom, which I know that had to be terrible there. Probably one.
Yes, it's tragic, and I root for him because he's a Steeler, but I root for him even more because of his story now. So
so nothing positive. I mean, not negative about him. So, I'm excited to see what he can do.
Shannon, Derek Harmon, man.
He's even more ready than Cam Hayward. Cam wasn't ready at first. Took him a couple of years. This young man's ready right now. I mean, he was top 3 defensive lineman by any measurable last year at college. From a top program. He's got it all. He's strong, he's quick, he's relentless. And then, he's mature beyond his years from what he's went through. I mean, this kid is ready, and there's no reason to slow roll it, slow play. Get him out there, let him have all the training camp, let him prepare as a starter for a preseason game 1 all the way through. And I think he was an excellent pick. And I expect big things from him.
I concur with both of you guys have said about him. Curb, I think, and Shannon mentioned earlier too, I think Keanu Benton is playing out of position, but that's just in the base defense. The Steelers don't play their base defense that much.
No.
So, where they have a guy lined up over the nose, they're usually 2 down linemen and the edges out there, and Queen and another Wilson or another linebacker in the middle. Run downs probably be Holcomb. On downs, 2nd and 6 or something like that, it'd probably be Wilson. But yeah, so he's disruptive, he's big, he's active. He had a lot of tackles for loss, a lot of quarterback hits. And yeah, I'm with Shannon. He potentially probably the top 3 defensive linemen coming out last year. Well, what I like most about him is his willingness to learn and want to take away from the veterans and be coached up right now at an early age. He's such a high pedigree pick, and our 1st-round pick, he could come in with a sense of arrogance, but he hasn't.
No.
At all, which is back to the character guys again, right? I mean, guys that want to come in and learn and be part of a team and be part of a culture. So I can certainly appreciate all that about Peyton. I mean, about Peyton Wilson also, but Derek Harmon. Looking forward to see what he does this year, like Shannon just said. And we're looking forward to seeing what all these guys do next year, because these are the guys that people that don't know are not talking about. So we wanted to give them their just due. We're looking forward to seeing some of these guys in camp, seeing the battle, seeing what they can bring to yours and ours 2025 Pittsburgh Steelers. And we'll see them soon. A week from today, they will arrive in Latrobe, and the next day will be a week from tomorrow morning, the first practice. We're all looking forward to it. We've been waiting for football for a lot of days now, from the beginning of February. We made something out of the offseason, the draft, free agency, mini camps. Now we're about to get back to some football. So we're looking forward to that. Go ahead, Kurt.
I got a question for both of you guys. Next Thursday, when the Steelers report, will TJ Watt be there?
I'm going to say yeah.
I'm going to say yeah, too. I don't think he practices. I think he'll sit in, but he'll want to be there to show his commitment. That's what I think, like he did last time.
Okay. I don't want to be negative, but when he didn't come to mandatory mini camp, I don't think he's going to be there.
He got leverage. He a new dad. He didn't want to be bothered with that. In my opinion, you don't think he's going to be there, Kurt?
No. I mean, obviously, if they're close with the contract, but as how it seems right now, I don't think he's going to be there, but we'll see.
Oh, hello, boys. How long you in for?
Another hour.
Go to the corner, Kurt.
All right, we'll see.
4 hour. You in there? But yeah,
remember that. Remember that now.
No, I ain't made no bet. I'm just telling you, you need to go to the corner. You know. But yeah, man. With that being said, we about to get out of here for this week's episode of the Pump Your Brakes podcast. And before you go, get those algorithms up, hit the like button, subscribe button. And with that being said, we about to get out of here. Shannon, take us home.
Prayers up for Braxton.
Definitely. Braxton, think about you.
Let's go.
Mamba out.